T.S. Eliot, who said that the purpose of an education is to help us escape, not from our time, because we're bound by that, but from the intellectual and emotional limitations of our time.
I think life is a learning process, and general education courses are like that. You definitely learn. You jump right into this information that you may not have value for. You may think that I'm not gonna, I'm health sciences, why this art class or, this sociology class, who cares? But it's just being an informed individual is what's really important, and that's what I feel that I've gotten from this liberal education.
If you consider the information in regard to your specific discipline and are able to transfer not necessarily the specific information, but the skills that you've learned, I think you'll find that general education classes are much more beneficial to actually involving yourself deeper into your own major.
We believe it's a really essential part of their education here. And so rather than thinking them as side projects, thinking of them as essential and integral and things that will open them up to new possibilities.
They taught me really how to analyze and compile a lot of information and to have some perspective on it, to sit back and be able not just to write about the details that I was researching, but to provide broad context.
When you go through a general education program and a liberal arts education, you learn how to come at problems and innovations from different angles and see new solutions that you might not see if you were just so specifically geared towards skill sets and techniques.
It really helped to prepare me for international affairs because of the critical thinking and discussion structure of the class.
They really begin to develop those critical skills, and at the end of the semester I always get a few emails from students who tell me how much they enjoyed the class, how they never thought history raised these questions, how they now have debates with their parents about the role and the purposes of government.
My dad loves history. He's constantly reading books about it. So now that I have learned a lot more about U.S. history, we have something to talk about. So when he refers back to something that happened in history, when we're having a conversation, it really helps because I know what he's talking about now.
Being in those big classes, you make friends in those classes that you have forever. So those gen ed classes, those big classes, a lot of times where you have random people, from different majors, you may make the connection that is a lifelong connection.
Because of that class, I have not only communicated and related to another person, but formed a relationship that has lasted and probably will last for a while.
There was one semester that I was taking gen eds, I think like my spring semester freshman year, and I was able to connect something in each course that I was taking, and that was cool.
It's the grounding, it's the orientation for what it means to be college educated, to come out of here as a degreed student who's ready to take on the world.
I think the value of taking courses in areas other than your major is to improve yourself not just as a profession, but as a person in general and a member of society and your community.
It's only in college. This is the rare moment in your life where you have the privilege, I call it a privilege, the privilege to be exposed to these ideas. You'll never encounter that again. And so it's a time to embrace, not a time to sit and just keep a chair warm.
Think about the general education curriculum as this delicious banquet. And there's all different kinds of foods, and their job is to go through and select the ones that they think either that they're not familiar with, so it's a new taste or a new sensation, or something they want to develop further.
I know a lot of people that have decided to change their majors or pursue extracurricular activities in fields of study that they took a gen ed class in.
There's a lot of really great gen ed professors out there. Seek them out. They can bring a lot to you. You can get a lot from those courses.
Go outside of your comfort zone. Dive right into the content and expand your horizons more.
Develop ideas from general education that will enable you to challenge the orthodoxies of our time. One of those orthodoxies is if it doesn't generate profit, it has no value. And general education will expose you to values that go beyond monetary value.